Hello YouTube family, it is time. It is time that I finish up this declutter that I started during Mishmas. We had two very long parts of decluttering during Mishmas where I went through my entire makeup collection except for my eyeshadows. And I just basically kind of ran out of time. I also ran out of steam. It's a lot. It's a lot to go through and like figure out and manage all the stuff that you're gonna be either giving away or donating or throwing away. And so that's what I do. I throw away makeup that's too old for anyone to use. I give away makeup that is lightly used, has not gone off. I give those products to people that I know well. And then anything that hasn't been touched at all, I donate. And I like to donate to Project Beauty Share. I've been donating to them for a very long time, year after year now. It's probably my fourth or fifth year. And that's it. That's it. All right, let's get into this because this is probably, even though we're only doing eyeshadows, this is probably going to be a pretty long video. Okay, just to give you a lay of the land, I've got five drawers of eyeshadows to go through. So I've got those three, and then I've got this one and this one. So let's start tippy top here. This one that's full of like liquid shadows and like single pot shadows. All right, so let's start with what's up front here. I've got the Westman Atelier iPods. I don't even know what goes with what anymore because these come in sets of 3 and they're magnetized. So you can kind of pair up and create your own sets like however you want. Are they labeled on the back? Oh wait, that says Rendezvous, Les Nuits. Oh, I think these are labeled. I get the feeling not all of them are. Anyway, let me just go through and see how these feel. Now these are a putty and they're not like the absolute most emollient, but that's kind of what I like about them because they have this longevity to them, which is really nice. I don't find that they crease a lot. So that's Bisou. That's a really pretty color. Nice kind of shimmery peach. I've got Champagne. This, oh wow. This is actually lifting from the sides there. Can you see that? That means it's probably, oh, and this feels dry. Okay, this one is too old. And I do think this is, yeah, from the Les Nuits set. And I've had this since these were released. So a very long time, much too long, especially for cream products. So this I'm going to toss. And I think I'll toss any of the other Les Nuits ones. That's not it. That's Toujours. Sorry, let me just get the Les Nuits ones out of the way. This is Le Jour. Rendezvous. Les Nuits. Yeah, I'll toss that. And this one is Vin Rouge. Oh yeah, these are, oh god, this is like rock hard. Okay. Time to go. All right, and then let's see, Toujours. This is in beige. Oh, this still feels good. Okay. I'll keep that. Le Jour in Chocolat. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Tabac. This one is one of the few products that I've actually panned. Do you see that? I love this. It's such a beautiful, warm neutral with a beautiful like satin sheen. So gorgeous. This is from the Le Jour set as well, so this should be good too. This is Neige. Yeah, this feels okay. And then, let's see, oh, here's Rendezvous, Bonne Chance. Oh, this feels good. This is such a pretty green. Such a pretty green. Okay, that one is good. And then this one, Smudge. Oh, these were the shadows that came out. You can actually see. These were a completely different formula. These are not putty. These are like really got my finger in there. These are just like a pressed powder. I did not mean to press so hard. I was expecting a putty, but yeah, I'm remembering this was like, I think part of a holiday collection, not this past year, but the year before. Let's see, what else was part of that? I think this one, Mink. Yeah, this is also really pretty. Look at this. Gorgeous. This one, yeah, I had like a gold one. Yeah, these are all good. And then these are from the Toujours set. So this is Cafe Creme. This feels a little dry. Toujours, this is Vanille. These feel like kind of a putty powder hybrid. This one is okay. This is Bisou. We played with that one already. Frappe. This feels a little chalky. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Yeah, and the rest of these are fine. Okay, so we'll get rid of those that I pulled out and then we'll hold on to these. Okay, we've got the Eye Lumieres from Chantecaille. You guys know how much I love these. Definitely keeping these. And then we have the Merit Solo Shadows in the sheen finish. These I absolutely love as well. So I'm gonna hold on to all of these. I have 5 out of the 6. I believe there's 6 shades. Yeah, I have 5 out of the 6. So yeah, definitely holding on to these, and they're relatively new. Okay, Victoria Beckham lid lusters. I absolutely love these, but they are probably getting on in their years. So let's see if they're still good. So this one is Mink, which is my absolute favorite. Yeah, this one feels okay. It actually still feels fairly moist. Sorry, that word is so gross. Yeah, oh, look how gorgeous that is. I have to pull these back out. I haven't used these in a while, but Mink is my favorite by far. See, we've got Onyx, which is, oh, gorgeous. Yeah, this feels good too. Look at that. Oh, if you want to do a smoky eye, incredible. This is Starlight, a gorgeous gold. Aren't these stunning? I think what helps a lot actually are these little covers. I think it keeps these shadows like in good shape for a long time. We've got Velvet, which is, look at this, it's like an antique gold. Oof, with that green in there. Oh, that's stunning. We've got Midnight, which is like a gorgeous navy. And then we've got Chiffon. This is another one of my favorites because look at how angelic that looks. It's a beautiful like champagne shade. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we've got Honey. This is another great one. It's another beautiful, more neutral shade. This is a little bit deeper, that has more warmth than Chiffon. And then we've got Tea Rose. This one is like a rose gold. Gorgeous. I mean, these shades in this formula, so perfect. And then this is Mirror. So this is the silver one. Oh, I mean, look at that. Ugh. I think this is my favorite part about doing a declutter, is that I kind of get to revisit everything. And it's like, I know that I love these, but to like swatch them all again, oh, fallen back in love with these. Okay, now we've got the Jones Road Just a Sec eyeshadows. I really love these too, and these are all relatively newish, at least from the past year. So this is shade, oh, my eyes are really going to be tested today. This is shade Cool Brown. Is that what that says? Cool Brown. Oh yeah, this feels super creamy. Very nice. I'll hold on to that. Then we've got Topaz. This is such a beautiful one too. Still very creamy. Then we've got Cool Taupe. Ugh, I love this one too. Oh yeah, these are all really creamy still. And this is Golden Peach. It's actually fairly similar to this guy. Oh, this is actually less peach. Less peach than the Topaz one. So Topaz and Golden Peach. Topaz and Golden Peach. See how the Golden Peach is more yellow? The Topaz is actually more peachy. And then this one is Pewter. Oh, this one's my favorite. Oh yeah. I think I started with this one and then I just ended up getting all those other ones because I was so in love with this formula in this shade. There's Pewter. Okay, keeping all of those. Not doing great so far, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, we've got some liquid shadows from Suku. I love these. These are called the... Oh my gosh, I can't remember, and all of the writing is in Japanese. I apologize. But these are fantastic liquid eyeshadows because they're kind of like a vinyl. They go on and they just have the most incredible like finish to them, and they're kind of translucent. You can build them up to be opaque. Like, they're just really neat, really, really neat. They're almost like a mousse. And then here's like this olive green shade. Isn't that pretty? And they set down, they don't smudge. I don't find that they crease. They're so good. I don't know if they're still making these. I apologize if they're not, because Suku, you know, they do a lot of limited edition stuff, but these are fantastic. I just love this formula. Okay, the Chantecaille Mermaid eye colors. So I've got Seashell and Hematite. And I remember in my last declutter, I actually went through and decluttered quite a few of these. I had almost all of the colors, but they were old. But these are still really good. So that is Seashell. And here is Hematite, which is the most beautiful grayish purple. Isn't that stunning? I love that color. So I'm going to hold on to these. And then I have these Hindash liquid shadows. They are called the Color Fluids. This is in Rising. And I wonder, I don't remember, pardon me, but I wonder if these are that kind of product where you can use on your eyes or your cheeks. I can't remember. Anyway, I do know that these can be used on your eyes. Look at that. Isn't that fun? And then there's this beige shade, which actually makes for a great like eyeshadow base. And then this one, of course, is my favorite because it looks like metal, like liquid metal. Isn't that beautiful? And then there's this shade. So pretty. And I like how these are like a matte finish, and then he's got this metallic finish. But the matte finish ones are nice because they don't look dry necessarily. They just don't have a shiny finish, you know? But those are so fun. This is actually really nice if you want to just add like a little bit of dimension. You can add like a little bit and like work it in and smudge it out with like a brush. Isn't that pretty? So holding on to all of these. All right, and then, oh, we've got the RMS eye lights. I love these. I know this one is still good. This is in shade Strobe. I've shown this to you guys. These are incredible. They're so gorgeous. They stay on, they don't smudge, really easy to use, just, oh, phenomenal. I've got this Surratt Souffle eyeshadow. I have a feeling, I'm not sure, but these possibly, oh yeah. So these used to be like a spongy kind of jelly like product. This is like rock hard. Okay, these are, these are too old, but these are really cool products from Surratt. But I've got this one and a few actually in the back. Let me grab them. Yeah, these three. They're just too old at this point, but these were my favorite shades of this particular formula. Okay, these Sicily shadows I do really, really love, but these are old, you guys. Are they still good? Oh, actually, you know what's weird is usually they get dry and thick. This one is actually really watery. Maybe it just needs to be mixed up. That's so weird. Hold on. That's so weird. Maybe it just needs to be mixed up. Let me check this one out. Yeah, this one seems okay. Oh, that's so weird though. It's like, can you see that? It's like watery right in there. And then this shade. Oh yeah, this one too. Maybe it's like it's separated. Anyway, I think these are too old. I've had these since they came out. It's probably like 3 years at this point, so I should toss these. Okay, and I've got some of the Armani eye tints. This one I think I will toss because I'm never gonna use this shade. They sent this one to me. This is 70M. It's like a light pink. I mean, it's really pretty if you like a light pink, but not really my kind of shade. So I'm gonna get rid of that because these are liquid. I don't feel comfortable passing them on. So I will get rid of that. And then I have two of the same shade because I think they sent one to me after I got one. No, they actually sent one to me and then I was traveling and I didn't bring any makeup with me because I had no plans to like do anything social. And then a social event came up. So anyway, I went to Sephora and I was like, oh, I really like this shade. And I got it and I forgot that I had already had it. Anyway, so I have two of these 68S. Pretty. I mean, if I'm gonna have two of any color, that's a good one. And then this one is 67S, which is like a lighter neutral. These still seem to be in good shape, so hold on to these. And then I've got some of the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. This champagne is so great. So, so great. So nice and moussey. Yeah. Sorry, I have some makeup remover on the back of my hand, but I know that's still pretty good. I've used this, I don't want to say recently, fairly recently, so I think that's still fine. And then this one is chocolate bronze. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to those. Actually, you know, it's so funny. I was closing these up and these actually smell off. They smell really, really strongly of like alcohol, which I don't recall these having an odor at all, so they probably have gone off. All right, I'm going to toss these. Okay, this Surratt shadow, it's like a cream shadow. It's meant to be a base for some eyeshadows that they came out with that have like a sparkly iridescence to them. So this is called Light Matter. They also came out with a base that's almost like a black. Anyway, I think it's too old. I also don't really use it too often, but I've had these forever and they're meant to be a cream, but I think it's too old. So I'm gonna toss this. And then we've got these Jones Road The Best eyeshadow. These are so pretty. So this one is, oh, it's called So Pretty. And then this one is Patina. Aren't these gorgeous? So beautiful. I'm gonna hold on to those. And then I've got this old guy. This is L'Ombre Premier from Chanel. I had a bunch of them and I just held on to this one. This was a really interesting product. So it's basically powder in there and this little sponge tip kind of picks it up. And, you know, it took a little bit of a learning curve because I was kind of applying and blending it out with this sponge tip, which didn't really work. And then it's like I would almost pick up too much of the product and you can see it can be kind of like powdery. So anyway, what I did was I would just kind of lay it down with this applicator and then I would go in with like my finger or a brush and just sort of gently blend it out. So this still seems to be working okay. I have shade 402. I don't even know if they make this product anymore. I don't think so. And it came out, I can't remember what collection. It came out a while ago and there are a bunch of different shades and this is the only one I kept because I didn't really, I don't know, it's almost like the shadow in the tube here, it's almost like the older it's gotten, the better it's gotten because it was much creamier before. And I remember when it was cream, it was almost like the flakes that would come out were kind of chunky, but now it's like, it's just more, oops, sorry, it's just more like powdery. And I don't know, I feel like it works better. So anyway, I'm gonna hold on to that. And I've got 6 of these Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadows, the liquid silk eyeshadows. So she actually just came out with, excuse me, just came out with, I believe 4 new shades, which I have not gotten yet, but very excited. So there's 3 here that are of like this matte finish and then 3 of this more sparkly finish. So these 3 are Ione, Phoebe, and Irene. Really beautiful, nice, like almost like base colors. So they've gone really, really nicely. I'm gonna hold on to these because these are newer than the shimmery ones. And then these are, let's see, Liza, Bianca, and Angelica. So yeah, these came out during the holidays. I wanna say like 2 or 3 holidays ago. And, you know, Lisa's come out with new shades and these are not included in the new shades. So I think what I'm going to do is just toss these out because they are old and they're not even available anymore. All right, let me put back everything I am keeping. Okay, this is not a great little divider organizer for these products. I think what I need to get are just those long bins that I had. Do I have one up here? Yeah, like these, maybe a little bit thinner, and just line up all of these eyeshadows and then get extras for all of these because this, every time I open and close this drawer, these are just gonna keep falling and make me crazy. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of reorganization needs to happen here, but 1 drawer down. Okay, wow. Well, I can tell you pretty quickly, I will not be getting rid of probably anything in this drawer. This probably should be called makeup collection video versus makeup declutter video. But anyway, let's get into this. So I've got some of my Chanel eyeshadows here. So these are some of the newer ones, the Bouton collection. So we'll definitely be holding on to that one. And I usually toss these like velvet pouches because, I mean, you know, if you're a makeup lover, you just end up with so many, but I kept this one because it has the button on there. Isn't that fun? Same with this guy. It had like a special little embossing on there. This one is the Bouton Couture. I love this one so much. That shade is everything. And then we've got this one. This is a Lumiere Graphique. This is old, discontinued for sure, but I just love it. I love it so much, so I've held on to it. I just love the sequins. I love these shades. I love the formula. Like everything about this quint is so good. And then what have I got? This is Utopia. This is the one that had the roses on there. I may end up passing this one along at some point because these aren't shades that I use a lot, but I do like the formula. I do like the shades. I just don't use them very often, but this is limited edition. It's not even around anymore. So yeah, maybe not this round, but the next round of declutters. And then we've got, this Mediterranean one. Just stop it, Chanel. Stop it. It's so good. If they were to bring back any palette that they've discontinued, I would vote for this one. I would vote for this one for sure. Okay, and then we've got the Clair Obscur. Love this. And then we have, excuse me, and then we have the tweed ones. I love these. Limited edition as well. I believe not available anymore, but I am definitely holding on to these. Much like the tweed blushes from Chanel, I've held on to those. I have no intention of ever getting rid of those. But yeah, aren't these beautiful? And then here is like the pinky one, pinky purpley one. And then here is the one that is like the warm tone peach. Oh, I just love that tweed imprint. So cool. Okay, I've got a couple of Charlotte Tilbury quads. This is the Exaggerize. I really like this one. And then I've got Uptown Girl, another one I really like. Nice basics, really, really nice basics. So I'll hold on to those. And then I was actually surprised how much I liked this 9-pan. I mean, I was so ready to hate on this because the packaging just looked so cheap to me, but the shadows are actually pretty phenomenal. So this is the Beautifying Eye Trends, and this is the super neutral version. But yeah, just great shadows, really great shadows. I just wish she had done something, I don't know, a little bit more glamorous with this packaging. And then I've got a bunch from Addiction here. So this one was a gift for me, so I'm definitely holding on to that. And then I'm just really bummed that Addiction Tokyo closed down their US online store because that's really the only way you could order Addiction here in the US easily. I mean, I think there are some Asian online stores, but it's difficult. The shipping is expensive. Sometimes the ship time is very expensive. Anyway, I did get these sent to me when Addiction was open to the US. So these are a lot of the quads that I've enjoyed. But I think I'm going to actually get rid of these. I'm going to pass these along actually to someone that I know, because I have used them, but these were not only limited edition, but again, you can't get them here. So I'm gonna pass these along. I'm gonna hold on to this one because I just think it's so beautiful. And then this was a gift, like I mentioned, so I'm gonna hold on to that. So I'm gonna put these back. Let me put this back here. Okay, now onto this second row. I've got my Surratt beige, what is this called? Beyond Beige palette. Love this. This is definitely not going anywhere. I've got my Lancome Taupe Craze, one of my favorite quints. Look at those shades, gorgeous. You guys know how much I love this Still at the Club from Patrick Ta. I love these duos. I think they're really beautiful. So holding on to that. Where's the other one that I have? Maybe it's in a different drawer. But you know, I have that other one, that newer one. Of course, I can't remember the name. Anyway, we'll have to put those together. And then here is a Surratt palette that I had put together myself, basically. So I've got the contour that's Grisol, am I remembering that correctly? Grisol, I think. And then 4 shadows here that I love. So I'll take that with me when I travel sometimes. And then here's one of the newer Burberry eyeshadows. I love this shade. This is really pretty. A nice like one and done. And then I've got a bunch of Suku quints and not quints, excuse me, quads. And I think a lot of these are actually discontinued, which is such a bummer. Look at that one, so beautiful. This one I think is one of my all-time favorites. This one too. My God, I'm gonna be saying that a lot about, about these eyeshadows. This one is fun too. I feel like maybe I can get rid of these. Oof, I love these two shades so much. And I do love these three shades. The yellow gold in here is just a little bit too yellow for me. All right, I'll hold on to these. I do love them. And then this guy, oh, this is a lot of fun. You know what, this one I'm going to pass along. I don't use these that much. I just don't think of Suku when I'm wanting like cooler tone shades, and I have plenty of cooler tone shades. So I'm gonna pass this along and hold on to these others. And then, oh, we've got this Kevyn Aucoin, the Contour eyeshadow palette. I really like this. Really great, basic shades, everyday shades, really beautiful finishes. So I'll hold on to that. And then we've got some Hermes quads. I do like these quads. This one is the Fume. This one is, let's see, number 6. I'm not going to even attempt to try and pronounce that. And then this one is number 3, which is also very pretty. This one is my favorite. And then we've got this really old Suku limited edition face palette. And the eyeshadows, great formula. These aren't really colors that I use often, but I'm keeping it for this blush. This blush is so gorgeous. Does it even say what it is on the back? Nope. Just that it's the 20th anniversary Eye and Blush Compact. Yeah, this is probably 3 or 4 years old. I'm not sure when their anniversary was. I'm losing track of all time, but look at how beautiful that blush is. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna hold on to that. And then I've got my Lisa Eldridge palettes. These are not going anywhere. This one is Cinnabar. This one is Vega, my favorite. This one is Myth. And this one is Desert Gleam, which I also love. Oh, isn't that fun? Okay, none of those are going anywhere. Okay, and now on to this row over here. We've got my YSL quads in the front. I really do love this formula. So this is the new Valentine's Day one. It is, it's called Sparkling Lust on the YSL box, but I think it's listed on the Nordstrom site, and Nordstrom has an exclusive to it. It's listed on their site as like Glimmery Lust or something. Anyway, there's a discrepancy there, but it's the same one. And then I've got 720, love that. This one is 100, definitely most used. This one is 710. This one is 300. And then this one is 700. Also pretty. And then I've got my Prada eye quads. I really love these. I think the formula is so interesting. This and their highlighters, so interesting. You know, they're like a pressed powder, but they're not powdery at all. They almost feel like they're baked in there. Yeah, just a really cool formula. So this one is number 7. This one is number 9. This one is 10. This was like a holiday with the ornament on there. Yeah, a holiday limited edition. And then this one is number 3. this one is number 2. I mean, obviously I don't wear colors like this very often, but this color story, it's so Prada. I just love it so much. It makes me so happy every time I open that up. And then I have got number 8. Okay, so those are the Pradas, and then I've got some Chantecaille. All of these Chantecaille eyeshadows, I believe, are discontinued because they do a lot of limited edition collections. So this one, this Giraffe Eye Quartet, this shadow, it nearly broke my heart because this is gorgeous. This is one of the most beautiful shadows I've ever have come in contact with. It is so stunning, but it's very, very fragile. I don't think the beauty is fully coming across on camera, but it's kind of pink, kind of gray, kind of brown. Like, it's just a really beautiful shade. And then there's just little itty bits of sparkle, just absolutely stunning. So that's why I've kept that one. And then this Cougar one, I just really like the color story. It's so gorgeous. And then these guys, you guys know how much I love these. These are the Le Chrome Luxe Eye Duos. I love this formula so much, but I think they just sort of ran into issues maybe getting this manufactured. But they're like wet dry, they're baked formula, they're just stunning, absolutely stunning. So I have all of these shades. I kind of felt like I knew these were going to get discontinued, but I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. But I held on to all of them because, yeah, I just knew something was going on with these. At first it was the packaging. Look at that. At first it was the packaging. They were having a problem with the packaging. And then, yeah, and then these just kind of went away. It makes me very sad. Look at how gorgeous that is. Like, look at that pigmentation. Oh, this one was my favorite. This is the Tibet one. Oh my God. When these totally go off and I'm gonna have to get rid of them, that will be a very sad day here. Very, very sad. Oh, I've got a couple of palettes, hiding out back here. Oops. This is an Addiction Tokyo palette that I got when I went to Japan for the first time. They had this like already imagined, and the woman that was working the counter didn't speak English, so I was just like pointing. I was like, I'll just take that one. A lot of charades going on that trip. And then this Chantecaille palette, it's just so pretty. This like elephant one. Oh, it's so pretty. So decided to keep this one. Again, it's, you know, it was limited edition, not available anymore. So yeah, I pretty much kept everything. The only palettes I am getting rid of are these 2 Addiction ones and that one Suku one. Okay. 2 drawers down. Okay, I've mainly got single shadows in this drawer. You guys, this is just a really sad declutter, but looks like I'm probably gonna be keeping most of these as well. Yes, I've got a whole bunch of these Chantecaille luminescent eye shades. This is Pangolin. This is Horse. This is Pinto, and this whole horse collection was my favorite. They had the best shades. Here's Roan. Oh my God, stunning. And then this one I believe was my favorite, Palomino. I don't know, they were all my favorites. I love them all, this horse collection. Here is Rhino. Here is Elephant. These are beautiful, like, baked gel powders. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these. I'm assuming you are, so sorry, I'm like flying through these. Here's Giraffe, but some of them have more of a matter, like soft matte finish, but most of them are luminescent with like a really high shine and micro glitters. But because they're a baked gel powder, you can use them wet or dry. This one is Lion. Here is Cheetah. And here is Zebra. And then I've got this Chantecaille Duo, which you guys know I love. This is the Silver Willow Eye Duo. I think this is this discontinued? I think this was part of a limited edition collection. Anyway, they had, I think, 2 other color stories. One that was more like a brown, like neutral brown, and then one that was like a red wine. Anyway, I really liked this cool toned duo. It's really pretty. And then I've got the Radiant Gold Eye Shimmer. This is like a duochrome, so gorgeous. Chantecaille and Chanel need to stop coming out with these limited edition collections that when they're gone, they're like gone forever. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking and they need to stop doing that. Okay, and then I've got a bunch of these Make multichromatic metal reflecting eyeshadows. I've been going on and on about these lately. So this one is Quartz. And then I just recently got these 3. So this one is Glaze. It's just stunning. This one is Haze. And this one is Gravitational. It's like an olive green. So beautiful. And then I have a whole bunch of Chanel singles here. Most of these are the Ombre Essentiel, but I have some other ones. So this one is in Quartz Fumé. This guy, it's like a nice bronze. This one is the peach one, Pêche Glacée. And then we have Brumtalpa, one of my all-time favorites. This one is Jade Facette, so gorgeous. I love this color, it's so beautiful. And then we've got Beige Sable. And then here are some of the Lion collection. I can't remember what this was actually called, but these are the ones with the lion's head on there. So this is the copper one. This is the green one. And then this one is, oh, this is actually Bronze Antique. This is an Ombre Premier. So this is actually before they switched these over to the Ombre Essentiel. So this formula is a little bit different. I think the newer ones, the Ombre Essentiel formula, is much better than these. These were fine, but these are actually like really long lasting. They never fade and they apply like so beautifully. So anyway, those are the Chanel single shadows I have here. I do also have the 2 newer ones over here. I've been meaning to kind of put them in, but this is the the Brun Rose. And then this is the Gris Rose that I just love. And I mentioned this shadow in one of my recent favorites. Yeah, that went up this past week, earlier this week or last weekend. Anyway, these seem to be sold out and I'm so bummed. And I'm sorry that I mentioned it and now you guys can't get it, but I do love them. They're great. I obviously have to get more organizers for this drawer because now these are kind of free floating in here. But anyway, in the second row, I've got this beautiful Cheetah Eye Trio from Chantecaille, also limited edition. I don't think it's available anymore, but I love that color story, just super basic. And then I've got this Surratt Zibeline. Love, love, love this shade. And then I've got some Suku singles. So this is the Mono Look Eyes. This one is shade S02. Love, love, love these. This one is L03. So this is like a lame finish. This one is M02, so this is a matte. It's like perfect base shade. And then we've got P04. Can't remember what the P stands for. I don't think it's pearly, but anyway, look at how gorgeous that is. Kind of reminds me of the Chanel Jade facette one. So those are the Suku Mono Look eyes. And then this one is actually an older formula. These are the Tone Touch eyes. This is shade number 6. I love, love, love the shade. I'm not sure if they make this anymore, but a great shadow. This is super duper old. This is when Pat McGrath was doing those limited drops of those kits. It's before she came out with her whole makeup line. And it's so sad to see what's going on over there. I think they're selling off their assets or auctioning off their assets. So I don't think they're doing well, but that makes me very sad. Anyway, this was the shade Mercury Pigment. And this is a shade that I think had me fall in love with like metallic taupe shades. I just love this so much. So this one is super duper old, but yeah, I'm forever and always gonna hold on to that. And then I've got some of these Sisley single shadows. These are like a baked gel powder, and I used to have almost all of them, but they were getting on in their years. I was, realizing I wasn't really reaching for a lot of them, so I kept my 2 favorites. That was 14 Sparkling Topaz, and this one is 40 Gold Pearl. They're really gorgeous. And then this is a single shadow that I just bought while I was in Japan. I don't think this is available in the States, but you can get this, I think, off of Harrods. But this is a refill. So the labeling is back here. So this is Toasty Sand, number 106. And I can't remember the name of the shadow, but it's such a cool formula because it's kind of creamy. It's kind of like a cream to powder. It's very nice. It's very cool. It's very, very unique. Anyway, gorgeous shade, gorgeous formula. And then I do have some of the Dior Monocolor Couture shadows. This one is incredible. It's Beige Mitza. This one is Black Bow. It's a matte shade. I never use this. I think I'm gonna pass this on. I never use that shade. This one is Cashmere, matte shade. Really beautiful. Actually reminds me of that Suku. And then we've got Lucky Clover. This is such an awesome satiny green with like a little bit of a black base. Beautiful. And then this one is Nude Dress, which is such a great everyday shade. And then I've got these guys. These are the Sea Turtle eyeshadow trios. So this one is in Cool. And I believe these are not available anymore. This one is in Warm. So pretty. I think I'm gonna pass these along. If they're like a baked gel formula, I'm more likely to keep them. But when they're, I don't wanna say just a pressed shadow, because these shadows are really beautiful. I don't know, I just find them just a little bit less special. But yeah, I'm gonna pass these along. And then we've got the Diana Eye Trio, and these are like a baked gel powder. So I'm gonna hold on to these. This shadow is actually really, really pretty. So is this one. It is like a green iridescent, really pretty. So I'll hold on to this one and this guy. Okay, 3rd drawer done. Okay, oh gosh. This is gonna be hard because I know I don't wanna get rid of any of these, but I think it would be smart if I did because I just don't use a lot of these. So the Hung Van Gogh eyeshadow palettes, I really just use this Cool one, which is Composed Cool, and this one, which is the New Neutral. And then I think this is Wonderful Warm. I just basically use these 3. And these 5, I mean, they're so gorgeous, but I just don't use a lot of color, and I feel like I can find like a good home for these. This one actually, would I use this? I think I'd use maybe these guys. Okay, maybe I'll hold on to this one. This one is Rebellious Red and Pink. And then we've got Outstanding Orange. This one is Generous Green and Yellow. And then this one is Brilliant Blue. I mean, absolutely stunning, but I just know I'm not going to use these, so I'm going to find a new home for these guys. And then I've got these Esom palettes. I love these palettes. They're so great. Look at this one. This is the number 2 Intensity eyeshadow palette. It's stunning. I love that. This one is the number 4 Elevate pigment palette. This one I'll keep. If I do want to use any color, this is a nice palette to keep because it's just got a little bit of all the color stories. And then this one is number 3 Harmony pigment palette. So we've got some pinks and some yellows. And this one is number 1 Balance. This is the one I use the most, which you can probably tell. Such great matte shadows. So I'm going to hold on to all of those. I've got this little guy from Makeup Forever, which I really love, the Artist to Go in Wherever Walnut. This is so great. Such a great little travel palette. And then I have a whole bunch of these Viseart palettes that I love, but I think I have to be honest with myself because I just don't use them as much as I would like. So this is the Petit Foie Praline. Okay, that one I may keep. We're off to a strong start. That one I'm going to keep. That one's just so basic. This Choo Choo or Shoo Shoo palette I really love, but I never use it. But I do think of this palette often because if I do want a pink kind of, I don't know, pink look, I think of this palette because I love these pinks. They're so pretty. They're so pretty, but I don't know. I never use it, but I don't have pinks like that in my collection, so do I keep it? I really don't know. I really don't know. You know what? I'm going to put this in a maybe. This one I'm going to find a new home for. This one is London Etoile. It's just very, very deep. It's very dramatic. It's actually gorgeous, but as you can see, I just don't really use it, so I'm going to find a new home for that. And let's see, this one is the Sultry Muse. So this was one of the bigger 12 pan palettes. I love this palette, so I'm going to hold on to that. And then we've got the Paris Nudes. This is another gorgeous palette, all satins. I'm going to hold on to that. And then we've got the Cashmere Charmeuse. I mean, I love this. You can see I've used it quite a bit. I'm going to hold on to that. And then we've got the Cyraneuse. I'm probably mispronouncing all of these. But this is very, very beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm really not doing well at all. Here is, oh, the Mink Set. This is so good. This palette is so good. The Mink Set palette. Isn't that stunning? Am I going to use this? The colors are very warm. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. These Viseart color stories are so beautiful. So beautiful. And then we've got the Kashmiri palette, which you guys know is like one of my all-time favorite palettes of any brand. You can see it's well loved, very well loved. So that's a Kashmiri palette. And then I've got, oh, their 20th anniversary palette here. Look, the OG Viseart palette. What a sight. What a sight. That one I'm definitely keeping. And then, let's see, I've got a bunch of different palettes here. This one is the Koi, the Koi palette. This one was such a beautiful and unique palette, and I was holding on to it because I just don't have a lot of these shadows, but I think it's time for me to let this go and find a better home for this. This is like one that I customize, and then we've got the OG, the neutral mattes, and then this is the cool mattes, which I really love. So hold on to all of those. And then we have some kind of like random Pat McGrath palettes. I have pretty much decluttered like most of them because I had like all of the motherships, so many of those like 6-pan palettes that she had originally come out with. They were just old, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of them, and if I miss any of them, I'll just repurchase them. And I have actually been missing the mothership, just the #1, that kind of cool tone one, so I may want to repurchase that one of these days, but this is all I have left at this point. This duo, I kept because these colors are so pretty, but I never use them, so I'm gonna find a better home for this. This 5-pan palette, oh, this color story is so beautiful. Kind of reminds me of that Chanel one, right? The one with the sequins that I kept. I may hold on to this. And then we've got the Divine Bronze, the Venusian Sunrise. This one's very pretty. I think I'll pass this one along. I don't think I need to keep this one. This one is fairly new. This came out for the holidays. This is just a fun palette. I love the quality of the shadows. They're just really creamy. They're really pigmented. Am I gonna use these? Am I gonna use these shades? I mean, some of these. I like these, of course, the more neutral ones. I'll pass this along. I'll pass it along. It's still an okay shape. I think because the formula is soft, it looks a little bit messy, but I think it's an okay shape. This is the Bronze Borealis. I think I'll pass this one along. I just have to like clean this up a little bit, but I'll pass this one along. This is not going anywhere. I love this. This is when she first came out with these quads. And this guy, with the baked formulas, I love this palette. This is a legendary palette. This is the Blitz Astral Quad in Ritualistic Rose. Love this. So I'm gonna hold on to this. And then we've got the Voyeuristic Vixen. I remember really loving this too. Yeah, I really liked this shade. Yeah, I'll hold on to this. And then this, oh my gosh, this was my absolute favorite of the 6-pan that she came out with. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love this one so much. So I'm gonna hold on to this. And then, I don't even know which one this one is. Mothership 12, Petal Morphosis. And I got this purple one. This was actually sent to me, but very cool. These like glittery shadows, super cool. I like these cool tones, and like this color story is so unique with this really dark green versus having like a black. Yeah, this is a really interesting palette. I'm gonna hold on to this Petal Morphosis. And then, I actually have, but they're kind of put away. I have some Star Wars Mothership palettes, but those are kind of put away. Those are like collector's items, so I don't actually have them here. They're actually out in my office. I'll show those to you another time. But here is the Eczema, the Industrial Color Pigments. This is the eyeshadow palette that she first came out with, and I love this palette. This palette is so good. The color story is so good. All of the different finishes. I mean, this palette is stunning, and I appreciate her artistry, and I do like some of her subsequent releases, but I feel like she has not been able to reach this palette's like status. This palette is like really, really legendary, I think. So holding on to that. And then I have some of these very large Viseart Grand Pro palettes. So this one is, ooh, volume 1. Gorgeous. And then I've got volume 2, which also gorgeous. Look at that. With all the shimmers and stuff. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna be realistic and just pass this 5-pan along. All right, let me put back all the palettes I'm keeping. Okay, 4th drawer done. Okay, sorry I had to set you up at a little bit of an angle, but I've got, I don't know why these are here, but I think when I rearrange that liquid eyeshadow drawer and I get like the longer organizational trays, I'm gonna put these up there with them. But these are all of the Danessa Myricks, the Color Fix sticks. I have 5 of them. I love them, so I'm gonna hold on to these. I also don't see a lot of palettes I'm going to be getting rid of in here. Actually, you know what I'm going to be passing along is this Chanel one. It's, you know, it's a lot of fun. It was just, you know, I got it because I was like, okay, Chanel palette, okay, let me just get that. And I thought, okay, I'll at least like use these shadows. I don't reach for this palette for those 2 shadows. I have so many neutrals, so I'm going to find a better home for this guy. These other shadows are just too daring, if you will, too bright and too daring for me. I appreciate Chanel like doing such colorful palettes. They're just not for me. I've got this Sicily quad. I really love it. This is in number 1 Tender Toffee. Really beautiful shades, neutral, everyday, great formula. Love those. Oh, here's my other Patrick Ta. Here it is. It is called Always on Your Mind. That's right. I love this. Let me put this with the other one. There we go. I've got the Louis Vuitton, the very expensive Eye Color Quad. And I like these shadows. They're quite nice. They're quite nice. And these are actually very long wearing as well. When I tested these out, I had them on and I went to the gym, worked out, sweating, treadmill time, the whole thing, and they stayed on quite nicely. So anyway, Louis Vuitton. And then here are the newer Hourglass quads. These I thought were okay. And I find it so interesting. I love Hourglass, as you guys know, I love their makeup. And their powder products are really beautiful. Like, right, we all love their cheek products and the face palettes when they come out with them. But their eyeshadows, I feel like this is their, I don't know, 3rd attempt at eyeshadows, and they're just okay. I'm wondering why Hourglass can't like just knock it out of the park, because it's another powder product. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious about that. They're totally fine. They're totally fine, but I feel like, you know, it's Hourglass and I want to be like, whoa, you know, I want to be like blown away. And I'm not. They're just very nice. Okay, the new Victoria Beckham quads. I do like these. The packaging is also much, much better. They are refillable. They actually close. I remember when I got the original ones, they were flatter, and these didn't always like snap close. They would like kind of snap open. So anyway, I'm glad that they fixed that problem. But yeah, I love all of these. They're very nice. And then we've got all of my Natasha Denona. I have this duo that she came out with for the holidays. Really pretty, really, really pretty. Nice everyday. I've got some neutral 5 pans. This one, discontinued. This is the Camel one, the Camel palette. I love this palette. This is another one. If they could bring this back, I would be very happy. This one and that Chanel Mediterranean quad. Yeah, I'd be very happy. This is fantastic, fantastic quint. And then we've got the 2 Eye Sculpts palettes. These are relatively new, as you guys know. The I Didn't Need a Nude palette. The Glam palette. Love. I Need a Warm palette. Also love. the Golden palette, very beautiful. The Xenon palette, nice cool tone palette, and then the Biba palette, which I also love and I've held on to. I think this is discontinued, but I love that. I've got her 28 pan palettes. These are so old, but I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of them. And we were doing that like flashback on Instagram where we were posting pictures from 2016, and I think Natasha Denona was posting pictures of these palettes, and I was like, don't tease us, don't tease us. Bring back those palettes. If she brings back these palettes, I would be so happy. I would run out and get it and finally get rid of these because these are too old. They're way too old, but I'm holding on to them because they're phenomenal. This palette, long discontinued from Bobbi Brown, but these are like her Luxe eyeshadows, the baked gel powder ones, in a compact. I mean, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why this is not part of their permanent collection. And then I've got the Makeup by Mario palettes. This one is the latest one, the Ethereal Eyes Nature. I really like these palettes. This one is Moonlight. This one could be my favorite out of these. This one is just a straight up Ethereal Eyes. And then this one is the Master Mattes Neutrals. This is a nice, you know, like basic palette. And then I've got this Anastasia Nouveau eyeshadow palette. I really like this eyeshadow palette. I think it's really beautiful and I think the quality is really great. So yeah, I've been holding on to that. And then I've got this Hindash, the Beautopsy pressed pigment palette. So I got this and I'm so embarrassed to say I still haven't used it. Look at this. This gorgeous palette. I feel like there's a little bit of me that finds this palette so gorgeous that I don't want to use it. It's got that slight ombre in here. I mean, it's so stunning. So stunning. But every time I pull it out, I'm like, oh, and then I put this like wax paper right back on. I throw it right back into the, you know what? I'm gonna keep it out of the box. That's what I'm gonna do. It'll be easier for me to whatever. Okay. And then this Vive, the 90s palette. This is a great cool tone palette. I love this palette. Okay. So I'm keeping most of those. Let me just put back the ones that I'm keeping. Okay, that was the last drawer. Okay, so these are all the shadows that I am going to be tossing out, and then these are all the shadows that I'm going to be finding a new home for. I'm so excited. I really didn't even think that I was going to get rid of this much, even though this isn't that much. But because powder eyeshadows, I feel like they last a long time. Well, powder products in general, like last a long time, not liquid ones. You know, I feel like I've been pretty brutal with my eyeshadow declutters over the past few years, that I really wasn't left with much. So I'm excited. I'm excited that I was, you know, able to get rid of some, and I could go through my collection with you guys, which is always a blast. And yeah, like rediscovering those lid lusters from Victoria Beckham. I love those so much. As you can tell, I think I have almost all the shades. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That is it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!